We begin tonight with breaking news. Right now, a horrific discovery.
The bodies of 11 infants found in the ceiling of a Detroit funeral home that has a history of deplorable conditions.
7 Action News reporter Allie Hoxie is live there. Allie, what can you tell us tonight?
Well, police just wrapped up their investigation inside this funeral home. The now current owner of the funeral home actually just let me inside. And you can tell there's this little closet tucked away in the corner with a ladder that drops down from the ceiling. And that's where 2 caskets were found with bodies inside those caskets. Police say that Laura was contacted through a tip that they received by a letter at 2:30 about infant bodies being found inside the funeral home. Police say Laura met with the current owners who let them in and they discovered those bodies. Police were called and found the bodies inside those caskets in the false ceiling between the first and second floor. The Cantrell funeral home was shut down in April after Laura investigators found bodies were not being properly stored, with at least 2 bodies that appeared to be covered in mold. Right now, police are working to ID the babies that were found.
That is going to be conducted by the Wayne County Medical Examiner. We do have names of some of the remains, and we are going to do follow-up with the Wayne County Medical Examiner to identify or locate and talk to the family members.
Laura did send us a statement saying they investigated the new complaint, found the bodies, and called the police. They say the licenses of both the home and the manager of the funeral home and the manager was suspended in April, and that suspension remains in effect, stating in part, "We use this evidence gathered today to add to our open investigation and will continue to work with local law enforcement on this case." Police did tell us that this funeral home is being turned into a community center.
Allie, I saw you do that press conference, should I say, with that police officer out there. He said some of the bodies had ID on them. Any idea of how many they know the identification on?
Right now, no, there's no word yet on how many they know, how many they don't know. But even if they have that identification, they're still taking those bodies over to the medical examiner's office to make sure that ID is a positive ID and to notify those families.
All right, Allie, I'm sure there are a lot of parents out there. If their children were buried there, they're wondering about those identifications, and I'm sure calling now very, very worried. Thank you so much, Allie, for that live report.
Other violations uncovered in April include an unsanitary embalming room with peeling paint, dirty floors, and stained protective gear. There were also issues with the failure to deposit more than $21,000 tied to prepaid funeral contracts. The licensing agency says the bottom line was fraud, deceit, and gross negligence in the practice of mortuary science.
We are following every new development in this horrific story very, very closely. We'll certainly bring you new information just as soon as we get it into our newsroom.
All right.